Hi guys, this is Miss McClure. Sorry for my crazy hair. So I'm going to be interviewing somebody today about 9/11 because that's what we've been talking about. So different people around the world have different perspectives. Different age groups have different perspectives as well. For me, I was only 8 years old, so let's hear it from somebody else that you may know, known as Dr. Corley.
Hello, hey guys.
All right, so first question. How old were you when this incident occurred?
I was, that would have been 26,
Okay.
27, somewhere around there.
All right, and where and what were you doing? Were you working, going to school?
It was actually my first year teaching. I was teaching 5th grade.
Oh, wow.
So it was my first year teaching. I'd only been teaching for basically 2 months since school starts in August.
Okay.
And this had just happened. We had the TVs turned off so that information, wouldn't get out there too much to the kids and scare the students. But I remember hearing about it hearing teachers talk about it and things like that. But I remember where I was on that particular day, and then trying and figuring out too for the rest of the day, how am I going to bring that up and explain it to my kids the next day? Because I know they're all going to go home and they're going to hear about it. Mm-hmm. And if I just act like it didn't happen, well, that's not good either.
Yes.
So how do you take a subject like that and talk about it?
Absolutely. So our next question brings to, how did you find out about the attack? So I'm assuming it's the TV. And we've been talking about lately how television has been growing around the 1970s and how people are now starting to find the news on television. So I told you we learned for a reason.
Yes.
Okay.
At that time, there were no, now I'm saying there were no cell phones or any of that, but it wasn't nearly as it is today. So I don't even know if I even had a cell phone at the time. Oh. So it was all television.
So my next question is, when you heard about this, what emotions and thoughts were going through your mind as you were hearing about the attack?
Probably like most people, it was mostly just shock. It was almost numb. I wanted to be sad, but at first I almost felt like it was surreal, like it really wasn't happening. So it took a while for it to sink in. So at first I wasn't, you go through all the emotions of being shocked, scared, angry, upset, and then trying to figure it all out. But at first I was just numb. I didn't know what to think. I'd never seen anything like that before. So at first it was just a very numb, calm feeling to begin with.
Did you know anyone who was personally impacted by the attacks or there or around New York?
I actually had a student, Jeffrey Franks. I still remember him. I still contact him. I still am in contact with him even today. He lives in London, and he was one of my 5th grade kids that year. And he had to leave early that day because his mom was at home watching television and had called the school to come by and pick him up because they had a relative who was in New York at the time. And at that point, we didn't know who was hurt, who wasn't hurt, what was happening. It was just chaos. So I remember him being checked out early. So I didn't know personally anybody that was there, but one of my kids I was teaching at the time had a relative, and he was fine. Yeah. They just didn't know at the time, though. They didn't know how big the event was, or how many people were hurt, or where they were, or anything like that. So it was just a lot of scared people.
Wow. Yeah. Well, thank you, Dr. Corley. Is there anything else that you would like to share about the incident, or have we covered everything?
As far as that incident for me, that's pretty much says it all. But I know that it's something that of course, I'll never forget, and hopefully, as a society and as a world and as a nation, we can come together so those things don't happen in the future, so our kids don't have a situation that they have to relive and remember like that.
Yes. So, well, thank you, Dr. Corley.
All right, thank you.
All right, guys, we're going to keep interviewing.